Whenever I particularly mention that there's going to be a casino in the UAE, people like the first reaction is like, is that for real?
It's great for the economy, it's great for tourism, it's diversification. There's a lot of acceptance to the idea, and I think it's going to be a true game changer in the area.
Sameh, it's a pleasure to have you here today. Let me ask you first to introduce yourself and tell us a bit more about RAK Properties.
Thank you for having me. My name is Sameh Muhtadi. I'm the CEO of RAK Properties, a 20-year-old organization. We're publicly traded, and we are a massive developer in Ras Al Khaimah. We're the leading developer in Ras Al Khaimah.
That's great. We were just talking before we started here that majority of the people, when we mention UAE, Dubai is the first thing that comes to their mind. Secondly, Abu Dhabi. But there are 7 Emirates, right? And
Yes,
Ras Al Khaimah, it's one of those 7 Emirates.
Yeah.
Can you explain us exactly why RAK now is being on the mouth of everyone?
Okay. Two major catalysts that happened. The one is COVID. So when travel was restricted, a lot of people opted to go on vacation locally within the UAE. And people discovered how beautiful Ras Al Khaimah is. I think one distinction about Ras Al Khaimah is the fact that it's the nature emirate. By the way, Ras Al Khaimah means top of the tent. Yeah, Ras is top and Khaimah is tent. If you look at the map of the UAE, you see that it does kind of this. So Ras Al Khaimah is one of the northernmost emirates here. The other major catalyst was the announcement of the Wynn Resort, first of its kind in the region. I think it's one of the biggest FDI and local government investments in the history of UAE. $5 billion. When completed, the Wynn Resort will employ close to 8,000 people. It will receive 5.5 million overnight visitors.
Okay.
And it's a game changer for not only Ras Al Khaimah, but UAE as a whole.
That's really interesting. And whenever I particularly mention that there's going to be a casino in the UAE, people like the first reaction is like, is that for real?
It's unusual.
Sound very unusual. And I think that's also good for the business. And
it's great for the economy. It's great for tourism. It's diversification. There's a lot of acceptance to the idea. And I think it's going to be a true game changer in the area. It's more than a casino, to be honest. There's going to be 24 restaurants in it.
okay.
There's going to be a very high-end retail mall. There's going to be a marina. There's going to be shows like you're familiar with probably in Vegas. So there's a lot more than
Lots more around.
Yeah.
We're talking about the whole set of the entertainment business, right?
Everybody's, not only gamblers will go there, it's going to be everybody wanting to experience it.
And I see this is it's a vision, right? To also put another emirate in the spotlight, right?
Well, if you think about it, for somebody thinking of a vacation in the UAE, you have Dubai with the glitz and glamour. You have the culture of Abu Dhabi and the museums and the Ferrari world and Disney in the future. And now in Ras Al Khaimah, you have the Wynn Resort plus the nature. It gives a pretty decent offering to tourists and investors alike.
That's great. And talking about on your company, on your business, in the next 5 years, I would see a huge increase on the housing in RAK, right? How do you see that?
There's already a shortage of housing in Ras Al Khaimah because of what I just mentioned. I mean, the fact that all of a sudden there's tremendous interest in Ras Al Khaimah. All of a sudden there's tremendous investment by the government of Ras Al Khaimah in infrastructure, airports, roads, the Wynn Resort, etc., etc. I think the next 5 years are going to be historic in terms of demand for real estate in the Emirate.
If you have to point out one of the biggest mistakes that a developer could do in the GCC region, can you name one?
Whoa. It's a simple industry, but it's a very complicated industry. I think any good developer, the first thing he needs to focus on is his customer. If you have your buyer in mind, and if you want him to have the very best experience, the biggest mistake you can do is lose him along the way. There's so many touch points, from the first click on your website to see what are you doing, to answering a phone call, to executing the order and the SPA and so on. I think the biggest loss any developer can have is losing a client. Yeah, there's a lot of other technical mistakes that you can do, design, pricing, etc. But I think good developers are all about the brand strength and the trust that people have in that brand.
If you would have to prepare a checklist with 3 main items, you'd say, take care of our customers.
Customer, customer, customer.
Customer, customer, and customer.
It's really what it's all about. This business is about trust. This business is about the experience of interaction. And at the end, there's the beautiful product that you're giving that customer. It's a reward. Buying property is one of the most expensive investments most people make. So you need to keep that in mind. You need to keep in mind that their expectations are high, and you have to deliver on those expectations.
Yes. We just had a session now to discuss residential market, and we heard the developers from India, the developers from the GCC region, and we talked a lot, I would say, about branded residence, which is something that is in the highlights now.
Yes.
How do you see the branded residence nowadays?
There's a lot of interest and demand for branded residences. One, it's a category on its own. It's aspirational. A lot of people want to live in an Armani building or in a Four Seasons residence. Or it's kind of, I'm there. I've reached the ultimate.
I'm at the top.
But there's many other aspects to it. Done correctly, you can get some of the most elegant designs. You can get some of the most elegant materials. And one of the things I mentioned earlier is, more importantly, you get the service and the amenities of that brand. I favor a brand that's familiar with hospitality, somebody that's dealt with clients, with visitors, with tourists. They know how to serve them. They know about food. They know about hygiene. They know about service. Those, in my mind, those brands do much better than others. And the higher up in the ladder that you go, obviously the more attractive it becomes. It's a segment that is on fire in the UAE. I think there's more branded residences in the UAE than any other place in the world. And Ras Al Khaimah, as an emirate, actually does have quite a few brands itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I see this trend everywhere, and I have been to India a lot, so I see this trend in India, I see this trend in London where I live, I see this trend everywhere. So I think it's here for long.
It is a trend that's going to last. As I mentioned, it's aspirational, so aspirations will remain. And I think it's a market segment. It's not a huge market segment. When you think about the numbers and the supply and so on, it's tiny, but it's expensive. It's always at a premium, depending on what the brand is and the level of design and the materials used and so on. But as an investment, it always makes sense. One of the things I also mentioned is typically branded residences, or the brand itself, will not accept any random building, any random design, any random location. So typically the good brands go for the best locations in town, and that by itself is the first box,
the first check
an investor needs to tick.
That's great. Sameh, is there any message you'd like to send to our audience? Anything that our global members and global people that are watching us?
I'd love to send a message about RAK as an emirate. RAK is a beautiful emirate. On our development alone, we have 18 kilometers of beach. Yeah, and we have 2 million square meters of protected mangroves.
Wow.
It's a mangrove sanctuary. Believe it or not, we have a year-round flamingo sanctuary. Yeah, they live on our
Wow.
mangrove. We have 60 bird species. We have an abundance of marine life. It's just a beautiful part of the earth, of and you connect with nature. I'd love to encourage everybody to take a look at Ras Al Khaimah and visit if they can.
That's great. Now I think I'm going to plan my next vacation to RAK for sure.
You should. It's only 45 minutes away from Dubai airport. Yeah,
that's great.
It's you can think of it as a suburb.
That's great. Sameh, thanks a lot. Thanks for your time. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Same here. Thank you for having me. Thank you.